What is up, everybody? Rajodi here, and I've got an awesome video for you guys. And yes, I do apologize in advance for the sound quality due to the fact that I had lost the USB from my old headset. But I am trying to get a mic. I'm trying to work for it, getting paid, gonna get the money. But me and a buddy of mine, Dylan. Dylan, say hi.
Hey guys.
We're going to be doing some BG commentary, basically just discussing just a bunch of questions, and so this is just going to be a very chilled, relaxed, laid-back video. I guess we can get started with the first question. The first question is, what do you think will be the max level before WoW stops putting out expansions? I don't even know, dude. I mean, honestly, as long as Activision is working with them, probably never gonna stop. Won't stop ever. What do you think about that, Dylan?
Well, from what I've heard, I think that they're probably going to be stopping after this expansion because of the subscriber levels. But if this new expansion that comes out is really good and gets their subscriber levels up, I don't think it's ever going to stop.
Yeah, because I mean, like, they've as in Blizzard have been doing well for honestly just a long time. I think they're realizing it's like, hey, maybe we should just call it quits and not really just keep hanging on to this. Just because I from what I believe seeing online, during Burning Crusade was their most popular time, and then after that,
yep. After that, it started to fall off.
Yeah. Well, Wrath was actually, it peaked in Wrath, and then I think after that
it started to fall off.
Yeah. And so I don't know, but honestly, like, my favorite expansion is actually Mists of Pandaria. I love the way that Pandaria is. Like the whole scenery is super nice. I mean, at least I feel like with Draenor they kind of just not really half-assed it, but just didn't really work as hard in the environment and the detail.
And in Pandaria they introduced that Timeless Isle that brought a lot of people back.
Oh yeah, it did for sure. All right, next question. What are your thoughts on Activision working with Blizzard? Like, do you think that Activision should have just kind of not even, or Blizzard not have accepted Activision on, or like, do you think that it was a good move by Blizzard, or? Bill?
Me personally, for all these companies to work together, it's a good thing, but in the end, it's up to them. And if Activision, they're kind of seeing that this game's getting a lot of attention, so they kind of want to hop in too. So I can understand that. They just want all the attention, but in the end, it's their decision. But we really haven't seen anything between them. But like this expansion that's coming out, whatever, see them working together, we can see what they can do, and if they work well together, then hell, keep doing it.
Yeah, that's true. And I mean, at least for me, Activision has kind of earned itself a rep for just chucking out, expansions left, right, and center, and not really giving it actual good thought. And so, whenever I had actually first heard that Activision was working with Blizzard, I was just like, oh gosh, it's basically just gonna be like Call of Duty City, like all over again, But honestly, like it's not super bad. Like it's not terrible.
Not terrible.
As long as Activision just focuses on Call of Duty shit and not really focusing on just getting out expansions, like at least I know them from, I think that they would be okay. Alright, third question. What expansion do you think Blizzard hit the nail on the head for? Like, what was the absolute best expansion in your opinion, and why?
For me, I started playing when what was it? Lich King came out. Sorry, but basically, for me, I really like Cataclysm because that's when I just started playing. I just like the whole Firelands bit and everything, and that's basically when I started to raid. But scenery, art-wise, everything that they've kind of added into the game, like over time, and they've kept in the game, I would say Pandaria has been the best expansion. But for me, my favorite has been Cataclysm.
Yeah.
But the best I would say is Pandaria.
Yeah, I mean, I began playing since like BC, and I never really was any good at the game because I was honestly just so young. Like I really didn't know like what I was doing. Like I thought, oh, like I killed a mob and I got a an uncommon green item. I was just like, holy shit, like
Or if you
this is
found
a
a purple,
fucking
it was like the best thing ever.
yeah, exactly. And honestly, it was just like I was so fucking bad at the game. I didn't even like know what was good. But at least from what I've played, I also did enjoy Kata, and I thoroughly enjoyed Mr. Pandaria because that's whenever I actually started playing the game, not really competitively, but just I was actually getting like better at the game. And yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, Cataclysm was like super good, but I mean honestly, like there really wasn't anything different aside from like the new level gear and raids, rather than like
There's a few new pets or whatever that hunters could get, stuff like that, but nothing really like that much. That's when Pandaria came out, that Timeless Isle, all the new stuff came out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But in Cataclysm also, the PvP, I found that was the best.
Oh, for
PvP
sure.
Because,
yeah.
Because nothing was too unbalanced, nothing was too like OP anything, and if there was, they kind of patched it here and there. Now that it's Drainer, it's just I find in PvP it's always one-sided with like just someone.
Yep, exactly. I honestly agree with you. Everything was just kind of super unbalanced right there. The next question is, what do you think WoW shouldn't have added in the game? Like what's one thing that you're just like, why the hell did they even put that in the game? Like, there was really no point for it to even be in the game at all.
For me, I found there's a few things that they shouldn't have removed, but a few things that they should have. I know that the guild leveling, that was kind of cool at the start, and then they took out the guild leveling, and I just hated that. I actually like leveling up the guild. Now it's kind of given to everyone. No one works for it anymore. One thing that they shouldn't have was the talents. Oh my god. Now all the talents is just... All the talents now, it's just kind of... You can still do, like, the best... You can be the best in your group with no matter what talents you pick. Doesn't matter anymore. Whereas the talent trees back then, you actually had to pick them wisely, certain points in this, and if you didn't, then this failed, and that's what I liked about it. It was challenging. It wasn't kind of spoon-fed to us anymore.
Yep, I totally agree with you. Like, now I feel like it's mainly just, like, not really cookie-cutter stuff, but it's just kind of like, here,
it's kind of like a Mac. It's telling you to do this. It's like, oh, here, we're going to babysit you. Here, do this. Whereas before, it kind of, you had to figure it out on your own, trial and error.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was definitely more customizable at that time, for sure. But yeah, I totally agree with you 100%. Next question is, what could WoW do about balancing the classes for people that do PvP? Because a lot of people do complain a lot about how unbalanced everything. What do you think WoW should do to actually make it all balanced?
To balance it, in the end, it comes down to the player, but it's also kind of the class. So, like, I know everyone complains about these hunters, all this stuff, and then they've nerfed them, but then people get pissed off because they take out moves on the hunter that shouldn't be removed, but then it's only to nerf them, but then they're still broken, and then another class comes in, blah, blah, blah. It's all rinse and repeat. So I don't think they should... Yeah, I know. I don't think they should keep, like, removing stuff from people. I think it's in the game. They should reduce, like, the amount of armor or like the stats on a piece of armor that someone would get, or they just completely take out this PvP resilience. Not completely take it out, but just reduce the amount that it can do, all this stuff. Just kind of like these super tanks, like DKs. Oh my god, those guys don't ever die. They just need to nerf the kind of the damaging stuff in the game. Not really take out abilities or anything. Just nerf the damage and stuff on them. That's about it.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like, I feel like WoW should actually, like, take a look at their own freaking game and be like, oh, hey,
yeah, play it themselves, right?
Yeah, like, I hate playing against this class. Hey, we can change that. Like, wow, please, can you just please like do that? Like it almost seems like they're honestly not even playing their own game. Like at least that's what it seems like to me. Because in the patch 6.2.3 notes, DK's got another buff.
Yeah.
Obliterate does like 4% more damage. Howling Blast and a bunch of their abilities do like 4 or 5 more percent damage. It's like they didn't even need that to begin with.
Yeah, like Death Knights in PvP, they're really good, and then you bring them to PvE, and they're quite terrible right now. And it's a bunch of imbalanced classes.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, here's actually a super good question. What is one or what's one of the biggest positives, but yet it's also a huge negative at the same time?
Probably this new raid finder, because honestly, Cataclysm was it Cataclysm that they introduced the raid finder?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Cataclysm. So
Yeah, I think
basically, okay, Lich King. I never really raided them, but I knew I knew like if I heard like someone was doing a raid, I would just think it's like, oh god, that's insane. How are they gonna do that? But then it's
Yeah,
just like they introduced this raid finder, and like, yeah, it's really good. I can get gear, stuff like this, meet all these people, whatever. It's a really good thing, but also it kind of it eliminates that like kind of like challenge to the game, I guess you could say. I mean, you still can go do it with a bunch of people, but it's not like anyone really wants to anymore. Because hey, look, I can click a button and queue up and find 40 other people. Like it's just something
yeah,
that's good, but it's also terrible at the same
yeah,
time.
yeah, for sure. Honestly, one of the biggest positives, but yet it's also a huge negative, is oddly enough, I would have to say heirlooms, only because like back then, back then as in like BC, and you know all that shit. There was no heirlooms. There was no extra XP, increase or anything.
Yeah,
When you ran dungeons and if you got
you got a gear.
yeah
Like it was amazing.
like
You were happy about it.
yeah exactly and it did take us like a super long time. I see guides out there where it you can get from 1 to 100 in like 3 days game time. Like it took 2 months of game time to get from 1 to 60. Almost like it's almost like
Now, yeah, now I can get from 1 to 40 in like 3 hours. Like
exactly
it's
exactly yeah. And like honestly, yeah, I understand how for for people who have been playing for a long time and they have a lot of level hundreds and they don't want to go through that super long process. Like yeah, it benefits them for the people who have been playing the game a long time, and they can buy a lot of those expensive items because they are honestly quite expensive. One piece is about 4 or 500 gold. That's honestly pretty crazy, at least in my opinion. But yet, it takes the difficultness, if that's even that's even a word, like out of the game. Um, so yeah. Another question is that. What should WoW do that could be super amazing? Like what's one thing that they can add that can be that would be just super awesome?
one thing. I would kind of say, kind of like what RuneScape just did. They brought back a few, like the old school RuneScape, right? So it's like this new RuneScape. Personally, I don't like that new RuneScape, whatever, but that's just my opinion. I know some people do. But I loved back then the old school RuneScape, the 2007 everything, all the Grand Exchange, everything. They brought it all back. That was fun. So like they can find a way in WoW to kind of incorporate, like to kind of set everything back. So like when hunters used to use mana, volley was their AoE, like back in the old days. I would find that kind of cool if they could find out a way to like kind of do that and incorporate it to bring back even more people, because I know a lot of people like the old WoW better.
Yeah. That would, honestly, I feel like one thing that could be super cool is that you can actually pay gold to reset your lockouts for like a raid, but you can only do it like once or twice a week. But then
Yeah, or it could just be super expensive, like the those new WoW game tokens that they've added, like
yeah
35K. Not a lot of people people have 35K, right? So like, let's say for one instance we set it to like 8,000 gold to reset it. That would seem reasonable to me because that's quite a bit of gold just to reset one instance,
Yeah,
right?
and honestly, like it at the same time, it would be taking a lot of gold out of like World of Warcraft itself. Because honestly, it's so easy to get gold, and that's honestly
Yeah, it is now.
like one thing that's insane. And that's actually a question: is that should Blizzard make it harder to get gold in WoW, uh, or should they keep it as it is? Should they make it as hard as it was back in BC and Wrath?
Like I remember if I had like in Cataclysm even, if I had like 5,000 gold, I was rich as hell, and I did not spend that. I just kept it
Yeah.
because I thought I was like a millionaire or something. Now, right now, I'm sitting
Like,
on
look,
my
Mom,
alliance
look at
tune.
me.
I literally just made this alliance tune 4 days ago, and I have 22K.
Yeah,
That's just how easy it is to get gold
ridiculous.
now.
Yeah, yeah, it really is. It really is. All right, another question. Well, honestly, like I've actually wondered about this one myself. Honestly, um, should uh should Blizzard allow add-ons for uh in WoW for PvP and raids because it does make it a lot easier and like it's not actual knowledge that you need to have. Like for example, deadly boss mods tell you whenever stuff is going to be casted and like what to avoid. And for PvP, it shows the cooldowns for other players' kicks. So do you think that it's kind of like unfair that players can use add-ons like that and to kind of get like an upper hand? It's because it's almost like if you were new to PvP, it would be unfair to you because you really wouldn't know about it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's not necessarily it's not necessarily fair, but it's not necessarily like unfair kind of. It's kind of just if you have it, it's a good thing to have because personally in PvE when I'm doing like Arcmon, whatever, blah blah blah, it's always good because my screen will start flashing red, like get out of there, whatever. It's a good thing, but like in the end, it's also not a bad thing for people. But I can understand why people would get mad. But then again, it is a third-party application. You can't really stop anything about that.
Yeah.
But and also it's available to everyone, right? So it's not like it's oh hey only certain people can have it, right? So it's not basically just saying oh if you're this then you can have it, and if you're not then sucks too bad you're gonna suck at the game, right? So technically everyone can have it, but I don't think they should remove it personally because I love using it. But that's for PvE. I've never really used it in PvP, but I don't know if you have or whatever, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that will wrap up the commentary for the BG. Honestly, I've never really done anything like this. I kind of set my mind on, maybe we should just talk about WoW and maybe a few things that they should fix. But, you know, I'm I kind of enjoyed this. I've never really done anything like this. I would maybe want to change up the topics, talk about something else, maybe add a little bit of humor in there, But I don't know. Maybe in the future I can do more of this stuff. But let me know what you guys think about this kind of video down in the comment section below, and be sure to always subscribe. It really helps me out more than you could honestly ever imagine. And if you enjoy watching this, just do a favor, take 5 seconds and just hit that like button. It also helps me a lot as well. So if you guys enjoyed that, help me out. I beg of you. No, I'm just kidding. Alright, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Until next time, guys. Peace.